Smuggling alcohol on a cruise ship. Is that stealing? Hey, what's up everybody? Tony with Lido, Loca. Welcome to the YouTube channel. If you're brand new here, you love cruising, consider subscribing with the notification bell on. That way you don't miss out on any of the content. It is week 4 of Is That Stealing? This week we tackle a big one, smuggling alcohol on the cruise ship. Is that stealing? Last week we talked about removing your automatic assigned prepaid gratuities. Most people said, heck no, that's not stealing. You can't steal your own money. A lot of people said not stealing, but a jerky move. I think that was the big consensus. A minority of people said not stealing, do what I want with my money. The majority of the people said no, not stealing, but kind of a jerky move. It was an interesting conversation. I will link that video above and in the description below. Go jump in the comments there, and it's you will definitely be educated and entertained. Now on to today's topic. So the majority of the cruise lines have a no bringing hard liquor alcohol on the cruise ship policy. Many of the cruise lines will allow you to bring 1 bottle of wine, but that's it. Nobody's allowing you to bring on the hard stuff, and they have rules in place, they have policies in place, they have procedures in place to try to dissuade you from smuggling alcohol on board. Because all of those things are in place, because it's written clearly in the policies of the cruise line that no outside alcohol brought on board, let's just say from the cruise line's perspective that smuggling alcohol on board is stealing. You might say, well, technically it's not stealing, you're not taking anything, but the way that the cruise line would look at it is it's lost revenue, because if you don't bring alcohol on board, you would be buying drinks from the cruise line, you might be buying the cruise package, and in effect, by breaking the rule, by smuggling alcohol on board, you have taken money from them that they would have realized. It's opportunity money. And therefore they would say that technically you are stealing. Now, you're not going to get put in jail, I don't think, for smuggling alcohol on board. I know that you could get kicked off of the cruise line for smuggling alcohol on board. I believe that's in the contract, but I don't know of anybody who's gotten kicked off for smuggling alcohol on board. And it's something the cruise lines, they've been trying to combat. Many of the cruise lines used to allow you to bring screw top water on. They don't allow that because people could use the water bottle to smuggle on clear liquor. They've updated their scanning technology. I read about a technology that's in place in Miami that can scan for cylinders and things in luggage. They're trying to up their game there. They train their security personnel when looking through checked baggage and other luggage to try to identify smuggled liquor, not only to enforce the policy that they have in place, and also if they can separate you from your smuggled liquor, potentially you will spend more money on the cruise ship. Now, looking at it from our perspective, looking at it from the cruiser's perspective, the argument is simple. The alcohol on the cruise line is way overpriced. It is baked full of profit, and it could be that the cruise line is gouging us. They know that they have us captive. We have to play by their rules, and we have to pay their prices, and it's just not fair. So in that spirit of unfairness, I'm justified in sneaking alcohol on board. Even the bottles that they send to my room are overpriced. The drink package is overpriced, and I've already paid a ton of money to go on a cruise. I shouldn't have to pay this much extra just to get my drink on. I'm gonna smuggle alcohol on board by hook or crook. I'm gonna use all the techniques, and I'm gonna bring liquor on the cruise ship. It's my right. I think a secondary argument could be I have a favorite liquor, they don't have that on the cruise ship, and I need to bring that on board. That seems like that could be viable. And it also could relate to maybe drink package policies where one person's a drinker, another person's not a drinker, and to stay within the rules, I have to buy the drink package for 2 people, or I have to pay a lot for overpriced drinks. I can't get the benefit of the drink package, so therefore I'm gonna sneak alcohol on board. So that's where the rub is. Is it stealing? Is it stealing when you make the cruise line lose out on money they should get? Is it stealing when you break the cruise line policy? Or if in the face of an unjust policy, is it not stealing because sneaking alcohol on the cruise ship is justified? For me, I don't think it's stealing. Opportunity cost is something that we talk about. It's something that it's realized. Potentially you would buy drinks on the cruise line if you didn't sneak alcohol on board, or also potentially you would drink less. And so the argument about opportunity costs, I don't know that it's valid. So technically stealing from somebody, I don't think that that's true. I wouldn't call it stealing, but I do believe it is a violation of the cruise policy, and I do believe it's wrong from that perspective. And obviously I don't advocate people breaking rules in that way and sneaking things onto the cruise ship. It's an interesting battle. You can find comment after comment and post after post. Just look at the last Is That Stealing? About how the cruise line are unethical actors who are using the fact that they've put us on a cruise ship to gouge us for prices, to nickel and dime us, to treat their employees bad. And so therefore, anything that we can do to stick it to them, we should. It's really interesting to me how some folks set it up as this cosmic battle versus good and evil, like they're making us go on a cruise. I appreciate everybody's comments, but it gets really funny to me that people are like, I'm so tired of the cruise line oppressing me, and they don't make you go, right? I mean, you get to pick to go on the cruise ship. This is one of those things where they're not like, okay, this is the month you have to go on the cruise, and if you don't, no puppies for you. No, it's a voluntary thing. And I don't know if this vitriol toward the cruise line is just a simple justification for behavior that breaks the rules, some sort of way to make you feel better about it. I tell you what you ought to do. This is me. If I was going to sneak alcohol on the cruise ship, I would just say, look, I'm not supposed to, but I'm going to sneak alcohol on the cruise ship. I wouldn't justify it. I wouldn't say because the cruise line is evil and because they're nobody's making you do anything. If you want to go cruising, go cruising. And what would be the right thing to do is follow the rules that the cruise line sets up for you. They've invested the money, they've built the ships, they've made the arrangements with the ports, they've done all these things to build a construct, to build a framework so that you can go cruising. And yes, they have rules that they want you to follow because they did all that work. And look, maybe I take this too personally, but I do look at businesses and corporations. I look at individuals as people. And so would I want somebody to infringe on the thing that I worked really hard to do? Would I want somebody to just say, look, I know that you did this, you created an environment for us to do a thing, but screw you, man, I'm gonna do what I want. People do that. It's just the way life is, but you get to choose whether or not you want to be one of those people. I'm not big on trying to get over on people. I'm not big on trying to make a corporation something other than a group of people. So for me personally, I don't feel like it's right to try to get over. They've built the playground. I'm gonna go play in it, and I'm gonna follow the rules. I know that's not everybody's take. No judgment on that, because at the end of the day, we're only accountable to ourselves. But that's my take on it. All right, so what do you think? Smuggling alcohol on the cruise ship, is it stealing? Is it wrong? Or is it just our way to get even with the man? Leave a comment below. Let's continue the conversation. Thanks for stopping by. If you've enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. Consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. This is Tony with Lido, Loca, and until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Bye.